age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
How's it going? To the probably no one that's going to watch this. I was sitting around during lockdown today and thought, you know what, I haven't played Dark Souls 1 in a very, very long time. I've sunk like 350, 400 hours into this game over the past, I don't know, since it first came to PC. And as I was playing it, I noticed Windows 10 seems to have an auto record or screen capture function. So I thought, you know what, why the hell not? Record myself playing some Dark Souls, talking some shit. Maybe people will watch it and be entertained. Probably no one's going to watch it, and I'm just doing it out of sheer boredom, but whatever. So, started as a warrior, which I think is probably the best, or at least my favourite starting class, because of the longsword. I tried starting as a knight the other day, and the broadsword really doesn't do it for me, so I decided to restart playing the remastered version, which I personally think is good as Prepare to Die edition. Well, not as good, but I felt like the remastered version was a bit unnecessary, to be honest. The only thing it really added was I don't think I've got anything. Was the ability to use bulk items at once. Everything else it did, DS Fix already did in the Prepare to Die edition. But whatever, remastered came out, and yeah, it's a thing. Active, I guess, more active than the Prepare to Die edition these days, probably. I don't really have anything planned out. I'm just gonna play through as much of it as I feel like and ramble, and maybe some people out there will be entertained. Give me some input problems. I ran into some problems earlier where my attack button wasn't working, and I was constantly having to open the menu and close it to attack. It seemed to be the only thing. Glad that problem's gone. Oof. It has been something like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years since I've properly sat down to play this. So I'm a bit rusty. It's definitely not going to be a walkthrough or anything like that. I don't know why I did that. Have more equipment. Stamina, that's important. I don't really know how far I'm going to get this playthrough because despite having 300, 400 hours in it, I've actually only ever finished the game once. That's mainly because once I beat it, I just started spending hours and hours theory crafting builds and trying to make them work and playing them until I got bored of it, basically. Which was usually around the Tomb of the Giants. Because fuck that place. But I don't know, I want to try and finish it again. It's kind of weird, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. I've got, I think, more hours in it than any other game, barring Path of Exile. And I've only ever finished it once. I have started with the pendant as well, so I'm not going to be doing any shortcuts. I'm going to be playing the game start to finish as originally intended, which I've actually never done for the first and only time I finished this game was using the master key. Because when I first started playing Dark Souls, the start of Blighttown gave me a lot of trouble. When I was younger, I did not handle difficult or frustrating situations very well. I had a tendency to get just really mad and Alt F4 the game. Usually when I got to that point, that was when I stopped playing any given character after I finished it once. But you know, a bit more mature and all that nonsense, so hopefully I can get through this game without too many problems. One thing I've found with this is, especially if you played Sekiro, it's probably only if you played Sekiro actually. Getting used to the stamina bar is quite the learning curve. It's gotten me killed a couple of times since I picked it back up again, running out of stamina because my brain just goes into Sekiro mode, spam my attacks, have no stamina left to parry, get stun locked. All good fun.
Thank you, kind.
Thank God. No last sprint. That's speaking of my younger years playing this game. I remember probably 8 or 9 years ago now. I was living with a very, very good friend of mine, and I had a broken leg. He was unemployed, so we were both home all the time. And we thought, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be a fun idea to try and start our own Let's Play channel? And for our first video, we play Dark Souls 1, which is a silly decision for a few reasons. Well, number one, that's because everyone back then was playing Dark Souls, especially in like the years immediately following the release of the Prepare to Die edition. So if you actually were seriously trying to do let's plays and build a channel and a brand and all that, Dark Souls 1 was literally the worst game you could pick because it had been done to death. Done to death by people that probably know a lot more about it than than like than we did. So that never really went anywhere for obvious reasons. But I don't have any grand delusions of starting some big YouTube channel. I just want to play some video games and talk some shit, especially while we're all bored in quarantine because of the bloody coronavirus. I don't care about the wooden shields, I'm not going to bother. Just leave, don't want to do anything here. That's pretty nice, that's 2 Titanite shards, that's an easy upgrade. Whoa! That dude came at me. Too early. Until I haven't played in a while, very rusty. I'm gonna miss a lot of parries and fuck up a lot of dodges and get killed a lot and probably be generally pretty frustrating. But come on, get behind it. Easy. I might kill these guys. I still think that after all these years, this starting area, this first section, is still like I think it's still one of the best gaming experiences you can get, especially from oh, especially from like, if you just looking at RPGs in general. This area is just so well designed and intricate. I know, like, the entirety of Dark Souls is like that. But I feel like this area in particular, the Berg and even up to the church, it's good stuff. Speaking of fucking up parries, let's get killed by this guy because I never get him on the first go. Yep. Especially not when I can't see his hand. And that's dead. Ooh. Alright, come on. I really hope he drops the sword for me. He dropped the sword on my ninth playthrough, which I was stoked about, but I don't know, I'm stuck with the... Well, not stuck with, but... Blind parry, I couldn't see him then. Sword? Sword? Ah, bastard. That's okay, I'll probably use the Claymore on this character instead. Can I do it? No, I cannot. That works though. I'm pretty sure I can fight the Taurus demon without any Estus. This one's... What is it? No. Got him. I was saying before that there are... I feel like the remastered version was a bit unnecessary because it didn't really add anything that DS Fix didn't do, but I'm noticing some like small quality of life improvements, like items not being auto-equipped up here and such, but other than that, I don't know. There's no real noticeable graphical improvements. A lot of the janks in the animations are still there. Like you just saw, if you noticed, like my character's foot flipping out on the bricks over there. I feel like if they were going to remaster any one of the old Souls games, it definitely should have been Demon Souls. I feel like they probably could have worked something out with Sony. I'm sure Sony owned the licenses to that one. But I know Dark Souls it was quite old by the time the remastered version came out, but it was still it's aged so ridiculously well, right? It didn't really it didn't benefit from a remaster in the way that I think a game like Demon Souls would have, aside from revitalizing the community and stuff. But I mean, I don't really care for the PvP elements, like the online elements of these games. That's why I'm playing it in offline mode right now. So who knows? Maybe it's personal preference, but whatever. It is what it is. So I'm not really going to be paying all that much attention, like going through the lore and stuff. I do love the lore and the writing in this game. I think it's phenomenal. It's what initially drew me to it and helped me overcome the like the brutal learning curve if you've never played a game like this before. But I feel like if you're interested in the lore, you probably already know everything there is to know about this game at this stage. And if you don't, well, there are people out there who know way more about it than I do. You know, I don't need that vitality. Pump that strength up. And you know, you're probably better off going to them for stuff like that as opposed to someone like me who isn't even convinced that anyone's going to watch this. I've heard stories from the original PS3 version of this game where apparently that dragon would just automatically breathe fire down the bridge at regular intervals. And so the only way to get across was to time it perfectly. And yeah, that sounds pretty bloody brutal to me. I'm glad they changed that in the Prepare to Die edition. Well, I feel like a new bonfire is probably as good a place to stop for the night, considering it is 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, alright, well, I'll see you around. If you've stumbled across this video and watched all 30 minutes of it, good for you. And thank you very much. I guess I'll leave it here. Pick up where I leave off next time I get a free couple of hours to record. I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Maybe people will watch it tonight, but probably no one's going to watch it. I'm going to make them either way because it gives me something to do when I'm bored. Alright, enough rambling. See you next time.